Okay, so this is number 21. So it told us to factor. And guys, we got to be careful when it tells us to factor and when it tells us to solve. When it tells us to solve, we're not done when we get finished factoring. We got to set it equal to 0. But if it says factor, that's all we do is factor. So the first thing we want to do here is list our A, B, and C. And we're going to notice something off the bat about our A. So our A is 4. Ding, 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 ding. If A is not 1, that means we got to do more work. Okay, B is negative 19, and C is negative 30. Okay, for these, I'm just going to automatically just tell you so you'll know what to do. We're going to use what we call, y'all remember, AC method. That basically says multiply your A times your C. Okay, so your A times your C. So we're going to do 4 times 30. And I really don't care about the signs of them right now. We're just going to do just a typical 120. So this is our new C. This is what we got to factor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we're going to do like we normally do, but we got a little bit more steps. So we bring up our calculator. 120 divided by 1, and hopefully everybody knows this one is going to be 120. So 1 and I'm going to use a different color, 120. Okay, so next we do 120 divided by 2. And we get 60. We do 120. Now we do 120 divided by 3. And we get 40. And then we're going to do 120 divided by 4. And we get 30. 120 divided by 5. We get 24. 120 divided by 6. So 5 was 30. 24. 6 was 20. Then we do 120 divided by 7. Okay, so we get a decimal when we divide by 7. Now we do 120 divided by 8. We get 15. And then we went 120 divided by 9. And we get a decimal. So we have a lot of possibility. First, we want to look for repeaters, and I don't see any repeaters. So we're looking for the one that's going to give us a 19. So is there any way 1 minus 120 or 1 plus 120 give us that? No. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this out. 2 and 60, either we're going to get 62 or 58. 3 and 43, we're either going to get 43 or 37. 4 and 30, it's not going to work. Let's see 5 and 24. That looks like a possibility. So let's do our plus, minus, plus, minus, plus. So we need a negative 19. So I'm going to put 5 all the way down. And I'm going to put 24 all the way down. And so we need the one that's going to give us a negative 19. And I'm going to show you how I put it in the calculator just in case you need this again. So I don't put the positive 5 in I just put 5 plus 24. And that gives me 29. So that's not it. Then I do negative 5 minus 24. I put it in the way I see it. If it's in the front, it has to be a negative. Okay? So we get negative 29. That's not going to work. I do 5 minus 24. I get negative 19. So this is the one I'm going to use. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to do x plus 5, x minus 24. Well, remember I said you got to do a little bit more work. We had to already do an extra step by multiplying your a times your c. Now we got to do a little bit more work. We're going to take our a. What our a was 4. And we're going to divide both of our numbers here by 4. And so what we're going to do, use your calculator. We're going to do 5 divided by 4. 5 divided by 4. And if it gives me a decimal, I'm going to press math, enter. So this one will stay the same, x plus 5 over 4. We'll deal with that one in a second. Now we're going to do the next one, x minus 24 over 4. So I know it's going to be x and a negative. So let's do 24 divided by 4. Let's see what we get. We get 6. So what we want our answers to look like is x minus something or x plus something. We don't want a fraction. So what we got to do is get rid of this fraction. So the way to get rid of the fraction, the only thing that's making it a fraction is its bottom number. So I move this bottom number to the front. So he comes in front of the x, so it's 4x plus 5. Okay, that's all I did was move that denominator. And the x minus 6, it doesn't have a fraction, so it's good. So our answer is 4x plus 5, x minus 6. Okay, let me try the next one with y'all, just to give us some more practice. So I'm going to put this on a different page. So this is letter B, and then y'all work letter C and D. Okay, so if we list our A, B, and C, A is 10, B is negative 3, and C equals negative 1. So automatically, I'm going to go ahead and multiply my A and my C, and I get 10. So I'm going to list out my factors of 10, and I think I'm going to shorten this. I would just show y'all this part. You're a number through 9. But I already know there's 1 and 10 and 2 and 5. The rest of them either don't work or repeaters, okay? So I need the one that's going to give me a 3. So I know 1 and 10 won't, but 2 and 5 will. So I need to figure out what's going to be my sign. So I do plus, plus, minus, minus, plus, minus, minus, plus. And I put 2 all the way down. And then I put 5 all the way down. So the one that's going to give me a negative 3 is this one here. I just shorten it, so it'll be x plus 2, x minus 5. And then our next step, we have to take our answers and divide by A. A is 10. So this is where we're going to use our calculators. And, we did 2 divided by 10. And we should get a fraction. I mean a decimal. But I want it as a fraction, so I hit math, enter. And we get x plus 1 over 5. That's what my calculator gave me. And I know I got a problem because I have a fraction. And then the next one, I do 5 divided by 10. And I should get a decimal. And I'm going to hit math, enter. Okay, and I get 1/2. So we do x minus 1/2. So if you look here, I know I'm not happy because I have fractions. So I got to make what makes it a fraction not a fraction anymore. I'm going to move it to the front. So this 5 here has to come to the front. So it becomes 5x. Now I'm bringing over the plus 1. That's my first answer. And then this one has this 2 at the bottom. So I move him to the front. It becomes 2x minus 1. And those are my final answers. Try the rest of them.